The camera opens on Daniel, 22, staring at his reflection in a high-end bathroom mirror. His hands shake as he adjusts a designer sweater that clearly wasn't his choice. The marble countertops, gold fixtures, and luxury skincare products tell a story of wealth he doesn't belong to. Daniel. They say love makes you blind. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes, love makes you invisible too. Cut to Veronica, 31, elegant and commanding, applying lipstick with surgical precision. She catches Daniel's reflection in the mirror but doesn't acknowledge him. Veronica. You're wearing the navy one tonight, right? The Armani I picked out? Daniel. Yeah. This one. Veronica. Still not looking at him. Perfect. My colleagues from the firm will be there. Try to, She doesn't finish the sentence. He doesn't need to. Daniel. 6 months ago I was sleeping on my sister's couch, working double shifts at a warehouse, drowning in my father's medical debt. Then Veronica walked into that bookstore cafe where I was reading between jobs, and suddenly I was living in a penthouse, wearing clothes that cost more than my old rent. Flashback. The bookstore cafe. Daniel sits in a corner, laptop open, surrounded by legal textbooks he's borrowed from the library. His clothes are clean but worn, his sneakers have seen better days. He's intensely focused, highlighter in hand. Veronica enters, sharp blazer, designer handbag, the kind of presence that turns heads. She orders a court d'adieu and notices Daniel's books. Veronica. Pre-law. Daniel. Looking up startled. Oh, hoping to be. Night school when I can afford it. Veronica. Genuine interest. Constitutional law? That's ambitious. Daniel. My dad always said the system only works if good people understand it. Something in his earnestness catches her attention. She sits down. Veronica. Was he a lawyer? Daniel. Smile fading. Construction worker. Cancer took him last year. But he believed in justice, even when it failed him. Veronica. I'm sorry. I'm Veronica, by the way. I'm a partner at Blackstone and Associates. Daniel. And wow, that's incredible. Veronica. He looked at me like I'd hung the stars. When was the last time someone looked at me like that? Back to present. The dinner party. The penthouse is filled with Veronica's colleagues. Polished, successful, speaking in acronyms about mergers and acquisitions. Daniel stands awkwardly by the kitchen island, holding a craft beer while everyone else sips aged whiskey. James, 40s, another partner, approaches Daniel with the smile of someone who enjoys making others uncomfortable. James. So Daniel, Veronica tells us you're studying law. Where are you at in the program? Daniel. Actually, I'm still working on prerequisites. Community college part-time. The conversation around them noticeably quiets. Sarah, 30s, associate, chimes in with false sweetness. Vera. Oh, how wonderful. Everyone starts somewhere. What did you do before? Daniel. Warehouse work mostly. Loading docks. The silence becomes deafening. Daniel feels every eye on him, measuring, judging. Daniel instinctively reaches for Veronica's hand, a lifeline in the social quicksand. She's laughing at something James said, animated and confident. When Daniel's fingers brush hers, she quickly pulls away without even looking at him, continuing her conversation as if nothing happened. Daniel. That's when I realized. I wasn't her boyfriend at this party. I was her secret. Later that night, the kitchen. The last guest has left. Daniel helps clean up, his movements mechanical. Veronica sorts through business cards, already mentally at tomorrow's meetings. Daniel. That was intense. Veronica. Not looking up. They're good people. You just need to find your footing with them. Daniel. Veronica, why did you pull your hand away when I tried to? Veronica. Sharp. Oh my God, Daniel, not everything is about you. I was having an important conversation about the Hartley merger. Daniel. I wasn't trying to interrupt. I just felt invisible. Veronica. You're being dramatic. This is how professional gatherings work. I can't be holding hands like we're teenagers. Daniel. But we're together, aren't we? I mean, what are we doing here? Veronica finally looks at him, and for a moment he sees something flicker across her face. Guilt, maybe pity. Veronica. Of course we're together. You live here, don't you? I buy you things, support your education. Isn't that enough? Daniel. That's not what I meant. Veronica. Then what? You want me to parade you around like some trophy? Daniel, be realistic. These people manage $100 million portfolios. They went to Harvard, Yale. You're still taking remedial math. The words hit like physical blows. Daniel. So that's what you think of me. Veronica. I think you're sweet and I care about you. But you have to understand your place in my world. Daniel. My place? Veronica. You know what I mean. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. The next morning, Daniel packs a duffel bag while Veronica showers. Her phone buzzes on the nightstand, a text from James. Great party last night. Your boy toy's pretty quiet, isn't he? Smirking face. Daniel stares at the screen, something cold settling in his chest. Daniel. Boy toy. That's what I was. A pretty accessory for when she wanted to feel generous. He looks around the penthouse. The expensive art, the designer furniture, the life he never earned but somehow found himself living. None of it feels like home anymore. Daniel leaves a note on the kitchen counter. Gone to think. Needs space. 3 days later, community college library. Daniel sits in the same spot where he used to study before Veronica. Worn jeans, plain t-shirt, back to being himself. His phone shows 17 missed calls from Veronica. His study partner, Diego, 23, slides into the opposite chair. Diego. Dude, you look like hell. Where have you been? Daniel. Remember when you said I was getting too comfortable? Diego. About living with that lawyer chick? Yeah, I said sugar mama situations never end well. Daniel. You were right. Diego. What happened? Daniel. I realized I was a pet. A project. Something to make her feel good about herself. Daniel's phone buzzes. Another text from Veronica. Daniel, please come home. We need to talk. I'm sorry. Daniel. She's sorry now. Because I left. Diego. You gonna go back? Daniel stares at the text, then at his constitutional law textbook. The same one from the cafe where they met. Daniel. Oh. But I am going to finish what I started. The next 6 months. Daniel working double shifts at a new job. Studying late into the night in his sister's spare room. Acing exams, making Dean's List. Veronica's increasingly desperate texts and voicemails. Daniel blocking her number. His acceptance letter to law school. 2 years later, law school mock trial. Daniel, now polished and confident, delivers a closing argument that commands the room. In the gallery, his sister Lucia, 25, watches proudly. After the session, Daniel checks his phone. A voicemail from an unknown number. Veronica's voice. Daniel, it's me. I know you blocked my number. I saw the article about your scholarship. I'm proud of you. I wanted to apologize. Really apologize. For how I treated you, for making you feel small. You were never small. I was just scared of what my world would think. That's on me, not you. I hope you can forgive me someday. Daniel deletes the message without finishing it. Who was that? Daniel. Nobody important. 3 years later, Blackstone and Associates law firm. Daniel, now 27, walks through the marble lobby in an impeccable suit he bought with his own money. He's here for a job interview, not as Veronica's accessory, but as a candidate for junior associate. The receptionist leads him to the conference room where 3 partners wait. One of them is James, now graying at the temples. He doesn't recognize Daniel immediately. James. Daniel Chin Rodriguez, right? Impressive resume. Top of your class at Georgetown. Daniel. Thank you. I'm excited about the opportunity. Sarah, now a senior partner, reviews his file. Sarah. Your background's interesting. Warehouse work then law school. That's quite a journey. Daniel. I believe diverse perspectives strengthen any team. James. Agreed. We need people who understand the real world, not just ivory tower theory. The door opens and Veronica enters, apologizing for being late. She freezes when she sees Daniel. He meets her gaze steadily, professionally. Veronica. Daniel. James. You two know each other? Daniel. We met briefly a few years ago. I was between opportunities then. Veronica. Struggling to compose herself. Yes, briefly. Daniel. Ms. Blackstone, I hope that won't create any conflict of interest? The formality of Ms. Blackstone hits her like a slap. She realizes he's not just moved on, he's surpassed her. Veronica. Oh, of course not. We'll evaluate you on merit alone. The conference room later. After Daniel leaves, the partners discuss his candidacy. James. Kid's sharp. His mock trial performance was exceptional. Sarah. Strong work ethic, real-world experience. Exactly what we need. Veronica. Quietly. He's very qualified. James. Veronica? You seem distracted. Veronica. I'm fine. I think we should make him an offer. Daniel's first day. Daniel receives his orientation packet, key card and office assignment. His nameplate reads, Daniel Chin Rodriguez, JD Jr. Associate. As he settles into his office, Veronica appears in his doorway. Veronica. Congratulations. You've worked hard for this. Daniel. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Veronica. Daniel, I know things ended badly between us. I hope we can be professional. Daniel. Of course. I'm here to practice law, not relitigate the past. Veronica. I want you to know your hiring had nothing to do with this. You earned this. Daniel. I know I did. The quiet confidence in his voice unsettles her more than anger would have. Veronica. I really am sorry. For everything. Daniel. Apology accepted. Now if you'll excuse me, I have case files to review. He turns back to his computer, dismissing her with professional politeness. Veronica lingers for a moment, then leaves. 6 months later. The firm's annual gala. The same venue where Daniel once felt invisible. Now he moves through the crowd with easy confidence, discussing cases, sharing insights, belonging. Veronica watches from across the room as he charms clients and impresses colleagues. James claps Daniel on the shoulder, clearly pleased with his protégé. James. To the group. Daniel here just secured the Hartley account. Youngest associate to land a client that size. The same Hartley merger Veronica once used to justify her coldness. The irony isn't lost on either of them. Later at the bar, Veronica approaches. Veronica. Quite the success story. Daniel. Just doing my job. Veronica. I always knew you had potential. Daniel. Finally looking at her directly. No, you didn't. You saw someone to fix, to improve, to show off your generosity. You never saw me. Veronica. That's not. Daniel. Sorry, Veronica. You gave me something valuable. The motivation to prove I didn't need saving. He raises his glass in a mock toast. Daniel, eat. To cages. Even golden ones can't hold you if you're determined to fly. Epilogue 1 year later. Daniel's office is now larger, his title, Senior Associate. Through his window he can see the bookstore cafe where it all began. His assistant buzzes in. Assistant, Mr. Chin Rodriguez? Miss Blackstone is here to see you. Daniel. Send her in. Veronica enters looking older, tired. She holds an envelope. Veronica. I'm leaving the firm. Daniel. I heard rumors. Taking the position in London? Veronica. Yes. Fresh start. Daniel. Good for you. Veronica. I wanted to give you this before I left. She hands him the envelope. Inside is a check for a substantial amount. Veronica. Eat. For law school. I know you paid your own way, but... Daniel. Sliding it back. I can't accept this. Veronica. It's not charity, Daniel. It's acknowledgement of what I took from you. Daniel. You didn't take anything I wasn't willing to give. And I got something better in return. I learned my worth. Veronica. I loved you, my way. Daniel. I know. But love isn't supposed to make you smaller. She nods, understanding finally reaching her eyes. Veronica. For what it's worth, I'm proud of who you've become. Daniel. Thank you. I hope London gives you what you're looking for. After she leaves, Daniel returns to the window. His reflection stares back, confident, self-possessed, free. Daniel. They say the best revenge is living well. But that's not quite right. The best revenge is becoming so completely yourself that the person who tried to diminish you becomes irrelevant to your story. He picks up a framed photo on his desk, himself at law school graduation, surrounded by his sister, Diego, and other friends who saw his worth from the beginning. Daniel. I thought she saved me. But the truth is I saved myself. I just had to remember who I was beneath all those expensive clothes. The end.